Hello and welcome everyone to VTM Independence. And we're going to start with Baker heading off to a. He said it was a. Just what did you call it?
I called it a industrial maintenance access. Basically, think about the services that run under a city: power, water, electric, all that other good and awesome stuff. There's a little chamber within the Warrens underneath Independence that sort of services all that nonsense. And Baker, for his part, is sitting quite nonchalantly, obfuscated, of course, within that particular entry, I mean that particular chamber, and he's just gone ahead and actually drawn a bit of graffiti on the wall, a chalk mark that simply says Baker was here.
All right, all right. And as you're doing that in chalk, I'm assuming not in big bubble letters like some people do.
No, just regular stock writing. Baker.
Okay, okay. Um, when you're done, just below that, you see uh, you see some text that wasn't there a moment ago and it says, "So was I."
Baker is simply going to just stand still, mostly because he is the one that called this meeting.
Uh, the other, the after a moment, you'll see you begin to see a shape just standing not too far away from you. Like, like maybe it was stood close enough to write that and then took a step or two back to give you some room.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of knew it was there. It was just as if your eyes just kept looking away from it,
I'm
like
very, very
to the.
familiar with my clan's particular discipline, yes.
It's like, so, what can I help you with?
Good evening, Max. I got a few things that I need to trade with you about. The um, the good old boys here think that I'm still good enough to talk to, and they've been asking me some rather pointed questions.
Well, I'd be glad to help. Mm.
All right, fair dues, fair dues. A few nights ago, uh, the good old boys got told about an attack on one of their younglings, and they're convinced, at least, that it may be an assassin sent over from the other side, the Black Hand.
Mm. His expression doesn't seem to change, and he's like, okay. And, why do they believe this?
They believe it because of some evidence that they've gathered. They recognize a few gifts of the blood, more of the Assamite clan than anybody else. I told them that could possibly be explained by any number of reasons, but they asked me specifically because they think that I can get that kind of information for them.
I see, I see. And, you want me to help you confirm their beliefs.
Confirm or deny,
Okay.
preferably confirm, and preferably offer more leads down the way if that's too much of a bother for you.
If I can manage it, I'll help you out.
Okay. Okay. Baker will then proceed to withdraw from his jacket a few printouts, actually. These happen to be printouts of some of the phone records just taken from the SIM card of the cell phone. Not from anybody else, just the SIM card. And he just sort of passes it over to Mac, saying, "This is the records from the phone they pulled off of their assassin when he failed."
He looks over it for a moment, and there's not a lot here. Um, I could probably find out where the phone was sold. Might be able to find out where this phone call came from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think you'd be better doing. It's a burner phone. It's not meant to be traced like that. But I'm more interested in the actual context of the text. This place happens to be a pizza place. It what was it called again? He looks through his own notes. What was that pizza place called again?
It was like something like Roy's Pizzeria.
Roy's Pizzeria. The way I figure it, it's a cover, and I'm hoping that there's some sort of link between this cover and some other cover that they use. Not sure, but those are the records.
And he's like, all right. He, it's like, well, the name doesn't sound exactly familiar. It's a variation of a name that they use for covers. Um, he's like, uh, you, they have a few covers, the ones that are near here, or near enough to be a problem. Uh, the pizzeria is usually a code for someone in the higher ups, at least of the group around here. At least they want to paint themselves as the higher ups.
Interesting, interesting. So what you're telling me is that the higher up from the other side wants to make an impression. He goes ahead and takes to himself the moniker of some sort of pizza place.
Yeah, it was something that was set up by the previous management, who, who fancied himself as some sort of mob boss, if you will.
I can understand that. I can understand that. Now, how much for that particular information about any more of these pizza places that have gone over uh, and been unduly influenced?
It's like, well, there was quite some noise upstairs, and as he says that, he looks to the ceiling. He's like, not too far from here, but it may have had something to do with the kindred you're speaking of. I would be very interested in knowing what happened.
Fair dues. I can get you that information. Just need a few talking points and a few investigations myself, and bada bing, bada boom. I can get you that. I won't ask you why this interests you so much. I'll just go ahead and leave that to your own business. Now, there is something else related to my case. It's actually a knife. It's the knife they took off the assassin, and Baker will go ahead and start to produce from his jackets colored images, colored photographs of the knife and some of the ichor that has stuck to the blade as well. And if there's any unusual identifications, markings on it, those will actually also be present. As he goes ahead and says, this is the knife that they took off of the Assamite, I'm guessing. I don't know if you have any contacts in the weapon industry, or if you have anybody particularly skilled in the second sight, but what would you be able to do with this weapon if I got it to you?
Well, let me see if I can get someone with the second sight to look more into it. Um, Aside from that, it looks more like a Middle Eastern weapon,
Here,
kukri or something.
that's what I figure. This is what I'm thinking, you and I. If you have somebody on the other side who can identify that owner for us, maybe you can start funneling the owner's friends. Eh? How much would that cost me?
Like, well, I can get you that kind of information. I'll tell you what. I'll get you the information pertaining to this knife and the any of the other points of interest in this that are in the city or remotely near the city, so you can further your inquiry more directly. But in exchange, there is something I have actually been wondering. There's there was a kindred in the city a while ago, and he left something in a bank vault. I'm curious as to what happened to it. I don't care where it is. I just want to know where it is.
Okay. Okay. You wish to know where it is. Do you wish to know the contents, or do you wish the contents themselves? Because varying degrees of service will get you bigger requests.
It's like I'm not really too interested in the contents. I just know they were of some importance, so knowing where they are could be useful.
Fair dues, fair dues. I'll get you the information on this little tomb that you're trying to dig out. Hmm. Besides that, how's the family over there?
And you're asking about the Sabat, not the Nosferatu,
Oh, I'm
correct?
asking about the Nosferatu. I don't care about the Sabbat.
Uh, well, he's like, well, everything's been going great so far, except there's now a new guy who claims to be king of the sewer.
Ha!
He's
King
like,
of the Yes. You hear him grumble to himself.
he's like, he's backed by the Sabat, so he's naturally a prick.
Fair dues, fair dues. And how do we feel about this King of the Sewers?
He doesn't encroach on me, I don't encroach on him, but I'm pretty sure the people he has encroached on would want to give him a burial by sea, if you catch my drift.
Fair dues. So he's a king. He's taking on some fiefdoms, taking them on above ground or below ground.
He's going below ground, and from what I hear, he plans on working his way up.
Uh, he's trying my old trick. Now I can't have that, especially when some of my clanmates seem to be struggling under his rule. Okay, thank you, thank you. You want to hear some juicy gossip?
When don't I?
Now, this is just for a tit for tat, and you didn't hear this from me. In fact, This is probably information that you got weeks ago via your own methods. In fact, I'm not talking to you at this very moment about this particular subject. Do we understand each other?
Perfectly.
Okay. It seems as if there are many of the younger generations walking around Independence, and a certain lady of power thinks it secure or safe enough to bring one of her own children around to walk around in this city. And I always think about what happens to a sire when their children is missing and possibly in mortal peril, I should say. Take it and do with what you will.
All right. That can definitely be interesting.
Like I said, you didn't hear this from me. This is just tit for tat. You give me something, I give you something. That's how this works.
It's like, oh, trust me, I think I know how I can claim to have come upon that knowledge.
All right. You need the knife?
It's like, uh, I will if I can get my hands on someone with the second sight.
All
But
right.
until then, you hold on to it.
Fair dues. That'll work. That'll work. I'll keep it in my secure possession. But if there's nothing else, I think I need to go talk to some people above ground. Mac, stay safe.
You too.
And Baker will go ahead and proceed to step up and walk his happy ass out of this current junction. And when he's just around the corner, he'll simply obfuscate and disappear and not move for a good 10 minutes.
Well, after you leave, or after you get around the corner, uh, there's a pause, and you hear him fumbling around with the phone. Not like he's in a panic or in a hurry, just more like it got caught in his belt or something. And he presses a few buttons, and no, just checking in. Um, and he's oh yeah, I'm over at this place, and he's nowhere near there.
hmm He, he will recognize that the chalk message has been wiped away if he turns around.
When he sees that, he'll just kind of like wipe off the one he left because it now no longer makes sense. He's like, yep, just doing a little bit of cleanup detail. That's all.
Baker will go ahead and snort quite audibly and just proceed to walk away.
All right.
All right. After that bit of an encounter, gonna go ahead and see my way surface side via another maintenance hatch, making sure to leave a trail that goes in an exact opposite direction. Like, if I find a gate, I'll open the gate, then I'll totally ignore it by walking a few more paces to the next one. I'll open it and then lock it up behind me, and then proceed my happy way out into the world, looking for a particular shop maintained by a particular follower of Set.
Ah, cover that because that blocks the lower third. When you walk in, you see Crimson saying off to the side. He, he's thumbing through through a kind of like an old book. Um, you can kind of you can kind of catch a glimpse of the cover, and it mentions Cthulhu.
Fair dues, fair dues. Baker has currently got his trench coat high up his face to block the sides, and he's got a hoodie to cover up just his form. His face is currently very visible, but as he walks, he makes sure to keep his hand obscuring it. He doesn't have that much obfuscate yet, but he does what he can with what he has. As he just goes ahead and approaches Crimson. What's up?
Well, the moment you make yourself known audibly, he puts a bookmark in the book and he closes it. Looks at him and goes, "Hello, how can I help you?"
Hey, not interested in. Well, I am interested. I'm interested in the good stuff, the stuff you don't keep out here.
He's like, "Right, right." He's like, "Well, is there a particular type of thing you're looking for?"
There is, but again, this is not the kind of conversation I would like to have in the open.
Fair enough, fair enough. Um, he looks around his shop and there's like there's a couple teenagers and they're reading through some stuff and he's like, "Well, step with me in the back and we'll see if we have what you're looking for in stock."
Thank you.
And with that, he'll lead you into the back room. And it does look
All
like
right.
a storage room when you get in there, but everything's kept in like a very neat order. Not like obsessively, but so you could go in there and easily find what you're looking for. And once you're in, he'll close the door behind you.
Awesome, awesome. Uh, Baker will start to go ahead and reveal himself a little bit more, just so that he doesn't look like he's some type of leopard, even though he looks like he's some sort of leopard. But he's going to show his face. Uh, going to take the hoodie off. Going to let his trench coat hang down a little bit more. He's going to go ahead and say, Crimson. Like I said, I'm interested in a particular type of weapon, actually. Doesn't seem like it's domestic, and I'm wondering if you had any connections to enlighten me.
I probably do. And you, as he's talking, you'll notice that there are no cameras in this room, and there's a layer of something on the door, like on the walls and on the door. Um, with even like a passing inspection of it, you can probably tell it's a type of cork, which makes this room practically soundproof.
Interesting. Interesting.
I was like, well, what kind of weapon are we talking about? Axe, sword, knife.
Actually, we are looking at an assassin tool, actually. Something exotic. Middle Eastern origin, perhaps. And Baker will go ahead and start producing a duplicate set of photographs of the weapon and start presenting them to Crimson, saying, these are the photographs of the weapon that was almost used to kill Logan a few nights ago.
It cut out for me. So, weapon that was used.
Okay. A weapon that was used in an assassination attempt against Logan a few nights hence.
It's like, Logan's not a very popular guy right now, isn't he? He looks down at the pictures and he pulls his shades off and for the first time meeting him, this is the first time he's pulled his shades off,
Mm-hmm.
and you can tell that his eyes kind of they change color, um not like turning reptilian or anything, but like as he was perfectly upright, they were brown, but as he's turning his head down, they kind of go green. It's just how the light kind of plays off of them.
Baker isn't going to make much mention of a weird appearance.
As he's looking down the picture, he's like, actually, I have seen these, but I've never actually held one or used one or even bought or sold one. I've been interested in them. Uh, these are kukris. Uh, there are a few paramilitary groups that use them, mainly because they're small, you can easily conceal them, and they are very sharp and very reliable.
Well, as soon as you start telling me about the military background of this particular weapon, I get sort of nervous, actually.
Like, considering what it was used for, I can imagine.
I really, really don't want assassins walking around with some military-grade software, or even access to, not carrying around, just access to that kind of equipment walking around in my city. That just leads to a whole bunch of violence.
And he looks closely at one of the pictures and he's like, "This right here is a manufacturing, or this name right here is the name of the manufacturer. Um, they produce a lot of weapons that you could purchase online, really, but you'll be paying out the ass with the shipping."
Interesting, interesting. Is that the only way to get these kind of weapons online, or do they have a local supplier that I don't know about?
There's plenty of local suppliers. He's like, he kind of motions off to one side and he goes, "If you go that way, you'll eventually come into San Antonio, and they have 3 or 4 Ren Fests, and they have stuff like this all the time. I'm pretty sure Houston, Dallas have the same thing. Um, around here, though, you're probably going to be very hard to find anyone."
Okay, okay. Well, that either means that they did online order them, or that these particular assassins are from a little bit of ways away. But in any case, you say you know the manufacturer of the weapon. Any other way we can narrow down that search, or do you need some incentive to do the extra legwork?
It's like, well, narrowing down, uh, I'm imagining what you're asking is for me to somehow contact or not contact the manufacturer, but contact the manufacturer's database and get who bought this particular one.
That would be definitely helpful. Just some way to track it down.
Yeah, all right, all right. Um, hmm. There are a few things I could use, although
Spill it.
it's
I'm a
like,
man
well,
of merchandising. I'm a man of capitalism.
right, right. Um, hmm. He's like considering what he's gonna ask. Right. Well, I had a customer come in here not too long ago, and he asked me to procure something for him that's really difficult. So even if you don't actually get it, but if you attempt to, that would still be great for me. I'm still gonna try to get it myself, but I honestly don't know if I'm gonna be able to.
Well, how about this? Two hands make lighter work of the job. if you're willing to hire me on for this particular operation, we can try this hand in hand, see if we both can't find it ourselves to put it in your possession. And then for that particular service I'm offering you, you go ahead and help me track down that weapon back to wherever the hell it came from. Just, I need something to bring back to the prince.
It's like, oh, I can do that. I can do that. And he's like, well, the item in question is actually information regarding a discipline. And this kindred, one of the new neonates in the city, actually, one of the Tremere specifically,
Oh.
came to me and asked if I knew something about one of the thaumaturgical paths. It's like, I don't know anything about this path. I do know that there are no Tremere in this city or in the surrounding cities that have it.
When it always involves the pointy hats, it always gets a little bit more complicated than it has to be. But okay, there it is. What is this path all about then? What is the properties? What can we look for in a grimoire?
It's like, well, it has to deal with manipulating technology directly.
Oh, techno wizard! Yay! It's gonna put a few of my people out of business over. You hear him just grumble himself. You actually hear him grind some of his sharp teeth next to one another like a rat or a rodent trying to gnaw at something.
Trust me, I understand the how you feel. Really, I do. It's like I rely on technology myself. Even if, but if we couldn't come across it for whatever reason, we report back to him that, or at least I report back to him and say, I tried, but it's just not available in this area.
Oh, and I'm sure he's paying you by the hour, I'm guessing.
It's like, no, but, you see, I would be more inclined to finish this job successfully if he offered me a discipline, or a different path, if you will,
Oh.
in exchange. But he kind of said no.
Oh, that's so unfortunate when we go ahead and find this grimoire ourselves, but still have to report back to him that we didn't find it.
Exactly.
Simply say that it would cost us far, far too much to continue on with the endeavor without certain, payback. And that's when you start squeezing for the extra path. And all of a sudden, after 5 days, the lead just starts bundling in, and he gets his grimoire. You get your path. Everybody's happy.
It's like that. That's if he agrees to it, and if he doesn't, I'm pretty sure you know what will happen to this grimoire.
It'll never be seen from again, or at least not by him.
It's like, oh, if I can help it, I'll get it out of the city and possibly even out of the country.
It's the new age crap. They're always coming up with something new and fantastical. We didn't used to have techno wizards. That's a new thing.
So I've heard.
In any case, I'll agree to this. We can churn up some leads and some contacts. Unless you've got one that you can just drop on me right now.
Nothing as of yet. Like, I I've been busy within keeping the neonates relatively out of trouble.
Now, why does it fall to you to go ahead and shepherd the younglings like that?
He's like, I don't think it actually does, but they all seem to like me. Even the prince seems to like me.
Everybody likes you, Crimson. You just got a smiling face, don't you?
I think apparently. Besides, some of them have some banter that's rather entertaining.
Fair dues, fair dues. Feel free to talk until the sun comes up. I got a little war I gotta handle to myself.
Fair enough. It's like, but yeah, I can at least look into this knife. Um, contacting the contact them shouldn't be too much of an issue. So, was there anything
Fair.
else I could help you with?
No, no, not at this time. I think our business here is concluded until either one of us can go ahead and dig something up on this particular techno grimoire. Until then, I hope you have plenty of fantastical customers walk in. For
It's
me,
like,
I gotta beat it.
it's like, all right, and uh, stay safe. Yesterday, Logan got a package.
Tick, tick, tick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not on that particular investigation. That's on somebody else. If they really want me for that, the prince is gonna have to come down and drag me out of my hole.
Oh no, I'm just keep an eye out for those.
The
I'm not sure
city
if
is
he
getting
was the
a lot.
only one being targeted or not.
Well, that is interesting. It seems as if Logan brings with him a level of instability to the city. Things just got more violent when he started walking the streets, hasn't it?
Seems that way.
Almost wish, almost makes you think that we'd be all better off if the assassin was successful the first time. I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, I don't know. That there might be more to there might the assassin may have not have revealed themselves until much later, when they were much more capable.
It's true, it's true. We may be getting a sneak peek on what is to come in the following nights. And if we can go ahead and nip this little problem in the bud, the city doesn't have to deal with roving packs walking around in the open as if they own the place, which at that moment they would have already done so. So, here's what I suggest as far as this is concerned. We keep our heads down, we keep investigating. When we find them, we root them out. And if anybody wants to give a scuff about it, well, they can find me. And I don't live in a very nice place.
And he'll nod to that.
In any case, this is what I'm currently being tasked with, and for that, I get a piece of the pie in this city, and I'm more than happy to play ball with the prince right now.
I see. I see.
Baker will go ahead and make moves to actually leave the room. He'll try the door and see if it isn't open, but before that, he'll go ahead and prop up his trench coat, put on his hoodie, go ahead and look back to Crimson and say, I'll stay safe. I know how to do so.
And you know I do.
Mm-hmm. And Baker will go back into the public portion of this particular occult store and then proceed on his happy way into the rest of his night.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to look into?
Let's see. At the moment, I've got the wheels turning for two particular pieces of information, the burner cell phone as well as the knife, and nobody has told me to do anything else, so there you go.
All right.
You may end the scene as you like, my good sir.
Okay. I guess that for now, that'll be all. Thank you for watching, and thank you for playing.
Mm-hmm. Been a pleasure.
We'll see you all later.